I'm Chris Cuevas. I'd like to tell a story about how I found yoga and meditation. Start back in the 80s when I started working with bands. Primus was one of the first bands I ever worked with, doing tour management. And that kind of opened up a whole career for me in the music business, working with bands. But within that whole structure, there's a lot of fun partying and long nights and craziness. And I got caught up a lot in the fun part of it, like every day, new city, new hotel, everything is readily available for you all the time. There's always alcohol backstage. There's, drugs come and go at every show. I mean, I had a great time. I was always like the person who pushed everyone's limits and tried to get everybody to go harder, farther, longer, faster. But I never partied until after I settled a show. That was usually my rule. Like we would go through the show, go through the night, settle the money, and then after that, it's like, pop the whatever and take it late night. And it wears you out after a while because, you're not sleeping, you're sleeping on buses, and eventually you just kind of break down, get sick. I met somebody that was into meditation and also was going to AA, and one day I woke up and he just said, "Hey, do you want to go to a meeting, man?" And I was like, "Not really, but I think I better." That was my doorway into at least sobriety. And then AA got a little boring for me, so I had urges for like something else, and I'd always had read a lot of like Eastern spirituality books. So I went into Buddhism, checked out Jack Kornfield, and started meditating, and that really was like a game changer for me. I definitely softened up. I mean, because back in those days, if you've seen pictures of me, I was like pumping serious weight, and I was like, I had like spikes in my ears, and I had my tooth knocked out when I was probably like, I don't know, 15, 16. And I could never get the cap to stay, so the gold spike, I just kept the gold spike for a long time. So I looked like this like gnarly, intense, I was like, people were like afraid of me. I seemed to have made it out on the other side. I think a lot of people were kind of pleasantly surprised and impressed that I was able to turn it around after, so many years of being on the road and indulging in the road. Actually transformed my entire life, like having that break from, or that, I guess that, epiphany to quit. And it really opened up a whole new world for me into, like new people, new friends, learning Eastern philosophy, yoga, meditation, things like that. Like when I met Jeff and Sean and Skylar, not only did Jeff and Sean and I have a connection through music, but Skylar and I had this great connection through yoga. I'm pretty thankful of the crazy partying rock and roll because it got me where I am today here.
My name is Gadadhar Pandit Das, and I am a Hindu monk. I live in the Lower East Side of New York City, and I work as a chaplain at Columbia University, New York University, and Union Theological Seminary. And I recently published a book called Urban Monk, Exploring Karma, Consciousness, and the Divine.